Hello world, I am back with another video. For today's video, we're going to be learning how to make a super juicy and tender oven roast turkey. But before we get to the video, we're first going to go through the introduction. The brining process is the most important part of making the turkey. You can either dry brine, which is what I'll be doing, or wet brine. A dry brine just consists of a salt mixture that's applied directly to the turkey, and a wet brine is a salt solution, like liquid solution, where the turkey gets submerged in. Alright guys, so like I explained earlier, I decided to go ahead and do a dry brining instead of a wet brining, simply because I think that a dry brining will release more of the flavor stuck in the turkey rather than a wet brining. From my research, it seems as though a wet brining just kind of gives the turkey more flavor, but that flavor comes from the water and the salt rather than from the turkey itself. So like I explained earlier, for a dry brining or pretty much any brining, the main ingredient is the salt, and it's usually preferable to go with kosher salt because of the way that it's formed, the way that the crystals are formed in the kosher salt, and also because of its density, and it's just better for the brining process. But unfortunately, I don't have any kosher salt, so I'm just gonna go ahead and use table salt. If you do have kosher salt, please use kosher salt. That would be way better than using table salt. But because the density of kosher salt and the density of table salt are different, I did the math so I could figure out how much table salt to use instead of kosher salt, and I'm gonna be using about half a tablespoon of table salt for every 2 pounds of turkey. Like my turkey is 14.44 pounds, so I'm gonna be using about 3.5 tablespoons of table salt, and I already have it ready right here. So I measured out 3.5 tablespoons of kosher salt, and not of kosher salt, table salt, sorry. So I measured out about 3.5 tablespoons of table salt. And when you have that salt, and if you want to go ahead and add anything else to your brining, it's completely fine. So what I decided to add to my brining, other than the salt, is I'm gonna be adding some brown sugar. Remember, all the measurements are gonna be listed down below in the description for everything that I'm using. So I'm gonna be adding some brown sugar. I'm also gonna be adding some lemon zest, some rosemary and thyme, and I am also gonna be adding some here I have black peppercorn, cloves, and cardamom seeds that I'll be grinding together and adding that. I think I'm gonna add about 1 tablespoon of that mix, and I'm also gonna go ahead and add some cumin powder that I have laying around the house, and I'm also gonna be adding some cayenne pepper just to spice it up a little bit. All right, so now I'm just gonna go ahead and cut up all these stuff and mix everything together. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and add this herb. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and add this herb mix into my salt. So and I'm also gonna go ahead and add in my brown sugar, some of it, and I'm gonna go ahead and add in some cumin and a little bit of cayenne pepper, just like a couple of shakes. If you know me, I don't really measure out what I cook, so So me being so precise with measurements so far in this video is kind of a big deal. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and grind up my peppercorn and my clove and my cardamom seeds and then add it in there. So after a couple of minutes of grinding, this is what it looks like. I just want it to be a little bit more fine, so I'm gonna go ahead and keep grinding a little bit longer. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop right about here. I don't think I need to grind it any further when it's here, so I'm just gonna stop here because I'm tired. And I'm just gonna go ahead and incorporate about a tablespoon of this into my mix. Perfect. Need a little bit more. All right, perfect. Now, last thing is just go ahead and grab a lemon, and we're gonna make a lemon zest. And I'm gonna make about a tablespoon of this as well. So here we go. Alright, so I'm gonna stop right here. It's not exactly 1 tablespoon, but I think it's enough. So I'm gonna stop right here and add that in there. Okay. Now I'm gonna go ahead and mix everything together like so. Just remember that the measurements for all the other ingredients other than the salt are not that important, because the salt is what is doing most of the work here. So that's why the salt is the one that has to be as precise as possible. So if you're not getting the measurements for the other ingredients that I added in this brine mix perfectly, it's completely fine. It's not that important. Just remember that the salt is the main guy here, so we need to get him precisely. And I'm putting that to the side. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and move on to our turkey. All right, so here's my turkey. It is about 14.44 pounds. So I'm just gonna unwrap this and pat it dry. Then I'm going to go ahead and add all of the seasoning that we mixed earlier to it. This turkey is massive. Why is there so many feathers on it? Like, whoever was supposed to clean this turkey did a terrible job. And we got the neck. There's so much fat on the neck. That's all. Where's the heart and the other part? Oh, they didn't give it to me. That's fine. Alright, I think this is dry enough. So we're gonna go ahead and add in our seasoning. I'm just gonna put it. And rub it in. Rub it in. Rub it everywhere. Rub it absolutely everywhere. Inside, outside. I hate the feeling of this. Ugh. The way it feels. Feels like sand. Remember, it goes everywhere, even on the inside. Get it rub all around. Look at that, looks beautiful. Don't forget to also put some under the skin. Alright, now that we're done applying all the seasoning all over the turkey, we're gonna go ahead and put it in our pan over here. If you have a rack, that would be way better, but I couldn't find a rack anywhere, and it was kind of last minute, so I couldn't find a rack anywhere. So I'm just going to be using this aluminum foil, and I'll just be putting that in there. Oops. Just like that. And just like that, now we're gonna go ahead and put this in the fridge. I have to clear up some space in the fridge first because I forgot to do that, so I went ahead and cleared up some space in the fridge, so I'm just gonna put that in there. Probably it's better to leave it in there for 24 hours if you can, but because I didn't forget, but because I'm doing everything last minute, I'm gonna leave it in there for approximately 12 to 15 hours. So I will see you in the morning. Hi guys, so it's morning now, or afternoon, and I went ahead and took the turkey out of the fridge. As you can see, the turkey has a little bit of bruising around the legs and around the butt part, but that's completely normal and that's completely fine. That's exactly what we want, actually. So I've had this turkey sitting out here for about 30 minutes now. I'm gonna try and let it sit out for an extra 30 minutes. And while that's sitting out here, I'm gonna go ahead and get started on the stuffing and the butter that I'll be rubbing all around the turkey. So for the butter, I'm gonna be using these clarified butter. I'm gonna be using a couple packs of just regular unsalted butter. I'm gonna be using some basil leaves. I prefer basil leaves over bay leaves, but if you want to use bay leaves, that's completely fine. I'm also gonna be adding some lemon zest. And I'm gonna be adding this ginormous garlic that I found at the store. Like this is ridiculously huge, guys. Like look at this. Oh god. And I'm gonna be adding some parsley, curly parsley, and some rosemary and thyme. So I'm gonna go ahead and chop these up and mix it all together. And then I also have the stuff that I'll be using for my stuffing right here, which I will explain in just a minute. Alright, so first I'm gonna go ahead and add in these 4 sticks of room temperature butter. I'm gonna go ahead and add about in 1 teaspoon of the clarified butter, like about that much, maybe 2 spoons. Alright, time to chop up all these herbs and add them in there as well. So for the butter rub, we don't need to use as much seasoning as we did earlier for when we did the dry brine, because all the seasoning was already on here. So that's why I'm mainly using herbs in the butter rub and not really as much seasonings. time to cut up our massive garlic. And last but not least, we're gonna go ahead and do our lemon zest to add to the mix. We're gonna go ahead and grab this same lemon that we just got the zest from, cut that in half, and squeeze all of that lemon juice into our butter. And now we go ahead and mix it. Now I'm gonna go ahead and add in a couple of Maggie seasonings, Maggie cubes, only because I didn't add any to my dry mix yesterday. So I'm just gonna go and add that to the butter. So now we're gonna go ahead and stuff our turkey first. So instead of carrots themselves, I'm gonna be using these carrot leaves. They have just as much potential as a regular carrot, and they have a little bit more bitter taste to it. And I just don't want to waste it because it's kind of a lot, and I could just go ahead and use it for the stuffing. It still tastes just like how a carrot would taste and all that. I'm also going to be adding in some rosemary, some thyme, some basil leaves, I'm also going to be adding in some parsley, some curly parsley, and I'm going to be adding in these herbs first. But before I add in these herbs, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to pat my turkey just with some napkin, and just go ahead and give it a pat. Get rid of that excess moisture. And then I'm gonna add in my ginormous garlic, 2 onions, celeries, and oranges. I'm gonna go ahead and add my celery. Okay, so that's about everything that fit. I'm gonna put this last piece on the other side. All right, now we go ahead and we add in our butter. I'm gonna put it like this so we can see it. also gonna be adding in some cinnamon sticks, just some regular cinnamon sticks. One in there, one in here. Oops. Right there. All right, now I gotta wrap this up and move it over to its appropriate pan. Alright, so I got my turkey string. I'm gonna try and go ahead and wrap these legs up. I'm just gonna turn it to my point of view so I can see what I'm doing here. Alright, I think it's pretty finely wrapped. And now we're gonna move our turkey over to our veggie, to our thingy that we'll be putting in the oven. I forgot what to call it. So in here, I just have the bottom of the carrots that I cut up earlier, some celery, and some red and green bell peppers. And transfer. Ooh, pretty nice transfer. All right, I'm gonna get the rest of this butter that fell off and stick it right there. Okay, so this is our beautiful, beautiful turkey. I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit of olive oil to the top of it, just to give it a nice extra crispy skin, just like that. I'm also gonna add like 2 cups of chicken broth. You can use whichever flavor, right into the pan. I'm also gonna add in a little bit of white wine. Only if you're 21 and older. I'm 21, yay. But this is gonna add in a nice flavor, and you don't gotta worry about like the alcohol. It's not intoxicating after it's cooked. And there we go. So now we're gonna pop this in the oven. I'm gonna cook it at 375 for about like 3 to 4 hours, because my turkey is about 14 pounds and you want to cook it for approximately 13 to 20 minutes per pound. So I'm gonna cook it for 3.5 hours. Since I don't have a thermometer, oh, my oven is ready. Since I don't have a thermometer, or the thermometer I have doesn't work that well, so I'm just gonna kind of like guess when it's cooked. Alright guys, the turkey should be ready any second now. It's been about 2 hours, so any second. Oop. Just waiting. It's ready. Okay. Wow, this is one heavy turkey leg. Alright guys, it's looking really good so far. I should have one of those pumpy thingies for basting, but I don't, so I'm just gonna use a spoon and drag it all over. It is so crispy, you can hear that. But it's not done yet. I still gotta put it back in the oven for about like 2 more hours, I think. It smells so good. It smells awesome. Kind of proud of you, Seal. Yeah. Now I'm gonna go ahead and use some aluminum foil, and I'm gonna wrap around the wings, the breast area and the legs, just because for the next couple hours I don't want that to burn, because it looks like it's already crisping up and I want to keep that nice golden color that it has going on here. So I'm just gonna wrap that up. Now that I have those parts covered up, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put this back into the oven, and I'm gonna leave it in there for about 1 hour and 30 minutes. If it's not done after 1 hour and 30 minutes, I'll leave it in for an extra 30 minutes, so maybe 2 hours. So we'll see. Ugh, it's heavy. Alright guys, so it's been another 2 hours. Our turkey is finally done. I decided to let it stay an extra 2 hours just to be safe. And it smells amazing, and let's see what it looks like. Oh. It looks great, guys. Oh my god, I'm so proud of myself. Unfortunately, we can't carve it out yet. We're gonna have to let it rest for like maybe 30 minutes to an hour. So I need to move this to my resting plate that I already kind of like laid out some veggies for. But how am I gonna move this by myself? I didn't think about that. All right, let's see.
I first tried moving the turkey with spatulas, but the turkey was just too heavy, so I decided I was going to move it with my bare hands. But as soon as I touched the turkey, it was so tender, it felt like it was just going to fall apart. So I decided to take the juice out of the pan first, and then I moved the turkey with my hands, and it was really hot, but I got the job done.
Look at that. It's literally falling off the bone. Okay, I'm gonna try and put it back. No, my beautiful turkey. And look at that, guys. We did it. We made a very beautiful turkey. So I'm gonna let this rest for like 30 minutes uncovered, just so that all the juices that have been activated can just sink back into the meat. And once it's done resting, then I'll decorate it and we can carve it and check on the inside as well. Alright, awesome. Alright, time to see. Ooh. It just kind of came apart.
Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, please like, comment, and subscribe. And you can also follow me on my social medias to never miss anything I post, especially my TikTok. Again, thank you so much for watching Vicky's Secrets, and have a good day.